welcome to Winfield's week of Rugby League, and what a stunning week of football it has been. We'll have all the highlights of the first Winfield State of Origin clash of the year, the one at Lang Park last Tuesday night between New South Wales and Queensland. Also the National Panasonic Cup semi-final between Balmain and Eastern Suburbs, the Saturday match of the day and another upset between Canterbury and North Sydney, the State Bank big game from Brookvale Oval last Sunday between Manly, Warringah and St George, and also the action of the only other clash last Sunday, the one between Balmain and Parramatta. But first of all, our week started last Tuesday night under lights at Lang Park, the first Winfield State of Origin clash between the Blues and the Maroons, and no one, I'm sure, either at the ground or watching on television, could have foreseen the sensational game of rugby league that we were about to witness.
Well, the game we've all waited for all year long. This is its State of Origin football. Mick Stone from New South Wales is the referee, and it's underway. The Winfield State of Origin kicks off. Sterling takes the ball back for New South Wales, and big defence straight away. Awesome big defence from Queensland on Sterling, and up they come. This is Jarvis swamping him down now. Plenty of a defence coming out of Queensland, and a fumble from New South Wales, a mistake, but Gary Jack cleans it up, and they clean him up right on the 22. Well, this game started exactly how we thought it would. Ball movement already as New South Wales start to throw it around, and McGaw gets belted down with some big defence with Gilmister and Gene Miles there also to take the tackle. And look at this Queensland defence going in 3 and 4, the big hits. New South Wales still pinned in their own 22 now as Sterling now clears the ball out. Belcher perfectly positioned, takes the ball midway between the 22 and the half, and he's taken down by the Blues now. So plenty of feeling already, lots of emotion here at Lang Park, a capacity crowd, the banana benders hanging out of the stands all over this ground, a little bit of push and shove already, and a penalty to Queensland.
Still on the Queensland quarter line. 6.5 minutes of this match gone. Kinescu from dummy half made about 5 metres too before he's put down. Langer, pass out to French. New South Wales defence is good. Pearce, the main defender, here's Lewis. Looking for touch, it's going to be too big. Almost into the grandstand. So the scrum from where Lewis kicked it, 32 metres out from the Queensland line, has gone with the feed. And here's Johnson getting a pass out to Eddinghausen, can't handle it. Into touch he goes. Sterling kicking for touch again. And this time finding touch about 32 metres out from the Queensland line. Simmons takes the tap to Sterling. Across to Kenny. Looking for Eddinghausen coming off the wing. Eddinghausen caught though. 25 metres out from the Queensland line. Oakes to the quarter line. To Sterling. Kenny to Pearce. Backing up was Eddinghausen. Oh, good defence from Shearer, putting him down. Kenny from dummy half, quickly upended. Good defence from Queensland. Now it's with Sterling. Long ball for Gary Jack. Nowhere to go for Jack. Last tackle signal for New South Wales. 32 metres out from the Queensland line. Simmons passes to Sterling, and the kick for touch from Sterling finds it. No score in this first Winfield State of Origin match.
This is Dowling now. He goes hard and straight, and look at Davidson coming in. There's some swinging arms, and the two fellas have a bit of a talk too. Teammates on a kangaroo tour. Might have been mates there, but they're interstate rivals right now. Queensland really charging at this attack, and Fatty Vaughton, the Manly player, will play it back to Kinescu. On to Lewis. Lewis puts the accelerator down. French tries to back him up, but there's just too much defence in the shape of Crusher Cleal. Also Jarvis underneath as Langer unloads it now. He gets it out to Vaughton. There's a long pass out for Shearer. Shearer now puts the accelerator down too, and he puts the pace on. There's a dive for the ball. It's loose, and Shearer will come up with it. All right, Queensland still on the wrap here now. Referee says 6 to go. Langer getting it out to Dowling. He gets it over to Lewis. There's the pop ball up for Belcher. He gets it out to Jackson, but Jackson backed up, and this is desperation stuff now from New South Wales. They're only 10 metres out, Queensland, with a big chance here. And that's Bella charging at the line, but the defence beats him too. Kinescu, listen to the crowd start to chant. Lewis, there's the little chip. Look at Jackson. Jackson, will he get get there? No! Oh, so close there for New South Wales as Jackson poured through. Eddinghausen cleaned it up. Canescu looking to the open side, runs, there's Langer. Well, there was no one there. Langer almost with a half bust, but Queensland just walking around behind him at the moment. Lewis, there's that little chip stab kick again. Taken by O'Connor. O'Connor winds up, and he's taken down with some good defence by Lewis, and there's a little punch inside. Oh, Lewis didn't like that. O'Connor reacted to the tackle. There's a wrestling match going on, but that's nothing in that. Nothing in it at all. Well, the feelings run hot here, Ian.
Yes, boys will be boys. Here it is again. And Jackson has all these 30,000 Queenslanders riding this kick with him. Let's watch it. And it's successful. Queensland draw first blood at Lane Park. It's Queensland 2, New South Wales 0. Wayne Bennett will be happy with his side at the moment. They lead 2 points to 0. Here's Langer trying to step through the defence. No way you can do that. Just outside the New South Wales quarter as Dowling takes the pass from Canescu. Now inside the quarter. The danger zone now for New South Wales as Canescu is a dummy half across to Langer, to Lewis, to Jackson. Looking inside, Belcher past the shields of horror. Oh, golden opportunity for Queensland.
Langer to Lewis. And look at the big men running from inside. There's Miles again. Miles out of what he's busted him. Miles opens him up and gets a pass away back to Lewis. And they're running around each other, these two tonight. There's Belcher now. Belcher inside the 22 again. Well, Miles is the star of this game tonight. He's making ground every time he touches. Langer looking for Lewis. He goes on his own and ducks underneath on the little fella. He's like a little jockey. Lewis calling. Here it goes to Miles again. He steps back inside. He's been doing that all night and they're letting him do it. He flicks one over the top. So easy. Lewis now on the Gilmister. He gets it on the Fatty Vaughton. Vaughton wrapped up and slammed down by Kenny. Canescu, Lewis, switch of play to French. French, he had support too, but just couldn't get it away. They're turning it back inside. Here's Miles again, the danger man. Oh, there's a chance if they can unload it. Yes, they do. Oh, they're throwing it around here with Langer heading for the line. Langer, will he get there? Gets it in, it's a Queensland try. Yes, Tony Curry's in. No try. Well, Tony Curry, the controversial player tonight, has put two down and doesn't score there. The defence got to him. Look at Langer. Langer almost did it himself there as he charged for the line. The defence came across. There was the ball, but no try. Oh, touch and go, though.
They called it forward.
Yeah, forward pass, right on the line. Well, Tony Curry not having the happiest nights at the moment. He's dropped two and, well, almost went in there for Queensland. Ian, lots of pressure on New South Wales at the moment.
Yeah, it was a brave decision from referee Stone too in that situation. But he called it, and New South Wales able to bring the ball outside their own quarter now. 2-0 in favour of Queensland over New South Wales. 12.5 minutes of play remaining in this first half. Sterling's kick is down for Belcher. Sends him back 10 metres outside from his own line before he's able to pick it up. It's to the quarter line. Now linking up with Curry. Curry caught by his opposite number, Eddinghausen. Belcher again, this time from dummy half. 32 metres out from the Queensland line. Now he's Dowling. Straight and hard. Now Bella, bumping run from the big fellow, and a level offload to Canescu. Canescu's passes back for Jackson. Jackson put it down, and Pearce picks it up and he's in turn thrown to the ground and dribbled back by Wally Lewis. Listen to that crowd cheering for the Queensland side. Now New South Wales under a ton of pressure from Queensland now. Brian Johnson has it 32 metres out from the New South Wales line. Very strong Queensland defence. Simmons pass blind side, finds Cleo out of one. The pass is out there for O'Connor. O'Connor's kick. It's a race for the ball. Langer and O'Connor. O'Connor's there. O'Connor scores. for New South Wales. And the New South Wales supporters in the crowd go crazy. Watch it again. The initial bust from Cleal. Nicely taken from O'Connor. Saw the defence, the kick infield. A chase between O'Connor and Langer. O'Connor, much too much pace for little Langer. And down he goes, picks it up beautifully and scores a great New South Wales try. Here is the kick from O'Connor and it's hit beautifully. Struck lovely right between the post. And New South Wales lead Queensland 6 points to 2.
Having trouble with this scrum. Nick Stone gives Sterling the pat. Ball New South Wales crowd don't agree, but they've got the ball. Gary Jack has burst out of the open. A big chance now for New South Wales as Gary Jack. Oh, and a great run takes play deep inside that 22, and the Blues on the attack now. The ball spinning around. Here's Kenny. Kenny now with everything he's got, but did well there to stay in the field of players. It comes out now. Let's see what the Blues can do. Johnson goes for a charge at the line. Belted down though, and they're only about 10 metres out, 8 minutes out. Out it comes now to Sterling. Sterling looking for the link up, and there's Crusher Cleal bashing and barging his way forward. New South Wales on a roll at the moment. Simmons gets it out to Sterling. Sterling going across looking for the link up. Tried to get McGaw and couldn't, and the ball rolls into touch. Oh, and the crowd react to that. And look at Sterling too. This scrum packed down. New South Wales on the feet again. Sterling breaks with Pearce. They get it out to Eddinghausen now. He'll play it back. There's Crusher Cleal has come in for a bit of work, but this defence is reading it pretty well at the moment. But New South Wales very deep. They come out there with Stephen Folkes. Folkes only about 5 metres out. Here's the charge from Davidson, and he's there. Davidson with a huge jump. He couldn't get it down. They rolled him over and he couldn't get it down. And look at Buddy Willie. We'll wait and see. And here's a try. Yes, sir. Well, they got it down. Why don't we see the replay on that one? Because he went in, they rolled him over, but Davidson with a big charge.
Well, Davison makes the try, but if they stopped, even if he hadn't have scored, I still thought he'd been the best player on the paddock up to this play. He certainly worked very hard in defence, and here he comes up. He's done all that tackling, and he comes up with a 4-pointer.
Michael O'Connor, 1 from 1, a great kick before, and this one's an easier attempt. Well, Queensland is shell-shocked at the moment. O'Connor moves in. There it goes. Waved away this time, though. Not a good attempt from Michael O'Connor. So the score remains New South Wales 10, Queensland 2. Runs it out, Belcher, but they take him too, and that's good play from New South Wales. They've taken Queensland right back now. They're into the ground. Comes back to Lewis. Will he kick? No, he decides to run it. A welcoming committee too for W. Lewis. And here's Shearer now. Shearer ducks on the one. He's gone with a little chip and kick and a follow. The chase is on. But it looks like Eddinghausen will win the race. Yes, he does. The ball is loose. Yes. Oh, no. Well, this game is being played at 100 mile an hour as Ron Willie relaxes again. Holy moly, everything happening at the moment. Watch it again as Shearer makes the bust. Comes down there. There was McGaw coming inside to try and cut him off. Shearer put the toe to the ball. Now the chase was on. Eddinghausen showing plenty of pace as he came through. Oh, and just touched the ball. Then it rolled loose and Shearer claimed the try, but no go.
That's Miles showing it, the straightening and standing and offloading to Canescu. And off it goes to French. Last tackle signal now for Queensland. Lewis goes back for the bomb, elects to run it, gives it across to Dowling. Dowling for the line. And it's a try. It is a try. Well, the referee took an eternity to make up his mind. But Dowling, the try scorer. Watch this one with us because it was Lewis standing on the blind side. New South Wales waiting for the kick. Elected to run, and the short little pass to Dowling went through 2 defenders and finally grounded the ball. And it's a horror. Oh, it's an awful kick. A kick that Peter Jackson will want to forget.
Gee, that'd be a poor kick-off, let alone a goal shot.
So it remains 10-6, New South Wales over Queensland. And there's the half-time siren.
The second half here at Lang Park. New South Wales leading Queensland 10 points to 6. Here's your commentator, Darryl Eastlake.
Here's Peter Sterling with a half break. Sterling with a chance too, as the Blues run under the ball. Stephen Folkes trying to get up very quickly to play it now. Ron Willie sits on the edges, his seat, as everybody else does in the ground. For Kenny, a little dummy from Kenny, still going. Kenny trying to link up, turns the ball back inside, a good pass back inside for Pearce. Pearce handballs it away, gives it a crash to Cleo. Cleo belting his way forward, but they beat him again. Oh, they're close enough, and they've come up with the ball too. Jackson has the ball for Queensland. Now they fumble it. Cleo again, charges at the line. And Cleo appealing there. All sorts of appeals going on, but no, referee Mick Stone says they held him up with the ball.
Lewis to Jackson. Pass up there nicely for Miles. Over the halfway mark. Still going strongly, Miles. And finally caught and put a foot in the touch. Just short of the quarter line, but a good strong run from Miles. Set up by Jackson.
At the moment, they haven't got a back line. Queensland, they're just taking it one out and ready for the kick.
Now Lewis's kick is down for Gary Jack. And he's on his own quarter. It's 10-6, Darryl.
Young Ettinghausen brings it back, and he's got some pace. Ettinghausen too, as he busts it off the middle and brings it back over the halfway line. Oh, he's got some acceleration, and Jack, you'd know all about that.
Well, you can't give him much space. He's really quick, and they say he can turn the light out and get in bed before it gets dark.
Comes out to Pearce. Pearce goes straight and forward. Gary Jack up now. The dummy half, but Simmons says no, give it to me. Goes to Sterling. Sterling onto McGaw. McGaw taking a lovely tackle from Langer. Jackson there to help too. Cleel will go from dummy half, only makes a metre though and gets belted back. So both sides sort of going nowhere. There's Bennett, Mr. Emotion, as I call it. He shows no emotion. And here they are with a chance now. New South Wales starting to stretch out, and Kenny slips a lovely ball over, and that's a try. Thank you very much to O'Connor. Number 2 for Michael O'Connor, the Manly star that's got it all. Oh, has he got some skills, this fellow. Scored a sensational try in the first half and has just gone in again. See it again as the ball comes roaring across the line here now. And mark this down to Kenny. Kenny, look at him across. Now he sees a little gap. How does he get the ball away? And O'Connor with a juggle slams it down for try number 2.
Without doubt, this is Kenny's try. He held it up and held it up till he got all those 3 or 4 defensive players all aside to go for him. And when they come in, that's when he released it.
Enjoy the kick of Michael O'Connor. Look at that, a beauty right between the posts, and that took the score 16-6. Beer cans being thrown onto the field, and this is absolutely stupid. But this is what happens here. They start losing, they start throwing. Let's hope they can keep them away from the players, as Sterling now puts the kick through. Gary Belcher back in position again, he takes it. Gary Smith is now on for Queensland in number 15. We'll pick him up in a moment. Ball is a break. Jackson up the centre. Can he leak up? Yes, he does. And then Shearer heading right under the post. And that's a great comeback try for Queensland. And Peter Jackson, oh, he made the break. He busted him up the middle. And Shearer finished it off. And that's a great comeback from Queensland. A beauty.
It's certainly great play by Jackson. He went straight up centre field. And he was waiting for somebody, and who should be tailing him? Probably the fastest player on the field.
Yes, and this is Gary Belcher taking the conversion attempt for Queensland and making no mistake. And there's 4 points in it again. Queensland just outside the New South Wales quarter. Vaughton, Miles. One-handed pass to Gilmester, back to Vaughton. Back to Bella. They lost about 10 metres in that play. The penalty's gone to Queensland. Interested to see what happened there.
Well, they certainly got the last couple of penalties have been sweetheart penalties. I mean, in the heat of the battle.
Well, Boyle taking the ball off him and penalised for doing it. Here come Queensland now. Lewis gets a pass out. He's in! He's in! Tony Carey! looking at pass from Lewis. Able to score right in the corner.
Well, I left the blind side skinny, and everyone's waiting for Lewis to do something, and he obliges.
So we're all tied up. So Gary Belcher, who's taken over the goal-kicking duties from Jackson, hits it. It's wide. Wow. 3.5 minutes remaining and 16 all. Now, what can the Blues do? It's with Sterling. It's with Folkes. Folkes just inside the Queensland quarter. Boyle.
Field goal time.
There's the clock. There's the field goal attempt from Sterling. Missed. He's missed it. Well, he seemed to be a little off balance. Queensland defence knew it was on.
And they were a little offside too.
So Queensland have the football again. 2 minutes, 18 seconds remaining. 16 points all in this first State of Origin match at Lang Park as Martin Bella has it 32 metres out from his own line. Here's Vaughton, caught by Simmons. Ron Willie, nail-biting time for him as well. It's back for Lewis. Out of Sterling's tackle, trying to link up with Curry. His kick knocked back by Kenny. So the Blues have it again on the halfway mark. Gary Jack. Just inside Queensland territory. Cleel from dummy half. Made about 5 or 6 metres. There's the top clock ticking down. 1:28. Davidson. Got to work themselves into a drop kick situation here.
Well, they've been sitting offside, the Queenslanders, but there's no way. I don't think he's given them a chance to kick a goal at this stage.
Ettinghausen getting it over the ball. Inside pass for Ettinghausen's gone astray. Over the Queensland line and over the dead ball line. Well, what's he going to rule here? He's going to rule a try. Oh, they'll talk about this. They'll be talking about this for ages. Through the smoke, you can see the Queensland players disgusted. The try awarded to Mark McGaw, but I'll be vitally interested in looking at this. Here it is again. That's Ettinghausen, a pass that may have been forward. McGaw turning the ball back inside, knocked down by Queensland. Kicked ahead, I think. Now watch the ball here. Well, that was McGaw getting his hand to it, I think. This will be a controversial decision and a brave decision by referee Stone. Full-time hooter is sounded. O'Connor's kick hits the upright. So New South Wales win by 20 points to 16, but I'd dearly love to have another look at that try. Here it is again. Now McGaw is number 3, striving to get to the ball, being pushed out of the way, in fact, by the Queensland player. Well, I think he got there.
3 players were backing up from that State of Origin clash for last Wednesday night's second semi-final of the National Panasonic Cup. Gary Jack and Wayne Pearce for Balmain and Trevor Gilmeister for Eastern Suburbs. But coach Billy Anderson would have been looking for a big improvement from the Tigers forwards as they took the field at Belmore Sports Ground.
And hello, and it's a great big welcome to Belmore Sports Ground for the second semi-final of the National Panasonic Cup for 1987 between Balmain and Eastern Suburbs, 2 crash-hot teams, let me tell you. Balmain to the side on the left, they're in their traditional colours, left of your screen that is, and Eastern Suburbs in the red, white and blue on the other side. Chuella, Spina, cut out pass across Mackay, got to Brendan Hall. And that's ball on the ground. It's Surinen's got it. He's been allowed to keep it. He's been thrown like a steer. It was David Smith who's come up as a bit of a tough guy in defence. Moving it out wide from Neil to Gale, out to Humphries, back to Gale. Gale's going for the corner. He might just get there. Looks for support back on the inside, gets it to Neil, and Neil's in. It's a beautiful try, beautifully taken, and you see it again on the replay, and you will agree.
Sensational start by the Tigers on the National Panasonic replay. The ball was shifted out quickly wide. Neil, the cutout pass to Gale. Gale saw the opportunity. Quickly he decided to give the ball to Humphries, realised he had plenty of room to double around. A ton of pace got Gale over 20 or 30 metres, arguably the quickest in the competition in 1987. And little Michael Neil, plenty of enthusiasm to back up. He was the man that started the movement. First pass off the ruck, the long ball to Gale. Only 3 men involved there in the back line. East caught very, very short. And Gale, superb pace from this man, and beautifully positions Michael Neil, who just accepted the tackle and crashed over.
Yes, a great one, giving Ross Codlin, who's been the scorer of 4 tries and 47 goals, and is in the eminent position of being the leading point scorer in the Rugby League this year at this stage. So there he is, 10.5 yards in from the sideline and right on the quarter. Stands still, says Roberts to the players. He's coaxed that and caressed it and beautifully kicked it just inside the left-hand upright. Balmain 6, Eastern Suburbs 0. I did mean to ask you about the black armbands on the Balmain players.
Yes, a very sad week for Balmain. Ted McGovern, the 25-year president of the league club and the football club, lost his wife Lynn during the week. Ted, of course, is a current life member of the Balmain club. So our thoughts go out to Ted and his family.
OK, the ball was stolen from Sirenen. It's gone to Trevor Patterson. Now the Eastern Suburbs side are inside the quarter. Hugh McGahn doing that pirouette of his that gets him through the first tackle. Truella at dummy half. Only about 20 metres out. Now there's a penalty against Balmain directly in the middle of the field. Actually, Mr. Roberts has walked across about 18 to 20 metres and awarded the penalty. So David Smith will be given that. This is from about 9 metres out from the line. David Smith, growing in confidence, moves in and gets the goal. So the score now is Balmain 6, Eastern Suburbs 2, and that first Balmain try came after 3.5 minutes. David Brooks to kick off for Balmain. It's gone fairly short. Gary Worth will field it. He gets out to the quarter. John Mackay on the blind side of the ruck, finds support in the shape of Gary Worth on the inside, backing up there. Truella at dummy half. Spins it away there to Spina. Correction, Gilmeester that was. Danny Shearer, he's a player that's grown in stature. And there's a penalty being awarded against Eastern Suburbs for infringement of shepherding. The player ran behind a teammate and put a player off. See that again.
Spina's the man in possession, managing to run behind his hooker, David Truella. And Kevin Roberts spot on.
Here he goes. Oh, that looks as sweet as a nut, but it's just away to the right, just a touch to the right. Truella, John Mackay. That little technique that he's got and McGahan's got of spinning in the tackle seems to be a ploy that most of the Eastern Suburbs forwards adopt. And some of the backs. There's Patterson going for a sprint, he's busted. Gets a pass back on the inside to Slippery Morris, it's away there to Lydon. Lydon's going for the line and he scores. Good chain passing, everyone was there on the job. Joe Lydon came up with a last pass and sprinted to the line. See that one again.
And the Englishman certainly maintains plenty of pace. A switch down a short blind side by Spina to Hall. The ball comes across to Patterson. Plenty of missed tackles involved here. Uncharacteristically, Wayne Pearce falling off there on the blind side. Steve Morris involved with Lydon from one wing man to the other. And Lydon, the quickest man in England, so they say, picks up the try for Eastern Suburbs, the first try for East in this semi-final. A ploy that worked just on half-time at Tweed Heads against Canterbury Bankstown. Eastern Suburbs, the switch back down the blind. The ball was meant for Huey McGann, but it went across to Trevor Patterson, busting the tackle of Pearce inside to Morris, and both wingmen on the spot. Two of the quickest men on the paddock, and Lydon certainly knows his way to the try line on this occasion, right under the black spot.
And we're back just in time to see David Smith attempt the conversion. He does, it's successful. The ball's gone way up the street, way up there in the tree at the back. So Eastern Suburbs now have hit the front. Eastern Suburbs 8, Balmain 6. Scrum just inside the Eastern Suburbs quarter. And there's a penalty. And it's against Eastern Suburbs for failure to pack square on. They're packing towards the sideline, according to the referee. So it was a differential penalty. They'll kick for touch. Okay, let's see what they do now, because they've got the ball now with Clark. Clark's on the surge. He's 9 metres out. Now it's Elias. Away to Seranen. Seranen will score. Yes, he's hopped through a tackle like a giant kangaroo and went over and scored in the corner. That was a pretty soft try when all said and done.
On the National Panasonic replay, the man that we've been talking about all night, Billy Anderson, has been searching for a return to the form that saw him win a berth in the 86 Kangaroo Tour squad. A short blind was set up by the Balmain Tigers, very simply. No real numbers had to be made on the blind by Eastern Suburbs. There was 3 defenders there who could have come in on Seranen. Danny Shepherd couldn't get across in time, and the big man just pumped it out. Awesome when he can get into full stride. He did charge onto that. He gave himself plenty of room to move, and he said goodbye to all the Eastern Suburbs forwards.
Yes, Paul Seranen, age 22. He's a policeman, and well, the 1986 Dally M Rookie of the Year, but he's not showing it, that particular aspect of it at the moment. Conlon from out wide, 2 metres beyond the quarter, a metre in from the sideline. And he hooked that very slightly, so the score remains Balmain 10, Eastern Suburbs 8.
Great opportunity here for, after the Balmain feed, for Gary Jack to come into the back line off possibly Ross Conlon.
There's a great big hole there, has opened up in front of Neil, and he ran to it. It closed a little bit as he got halfway through. Conlon onto Gale, little kick over the head. He should score. It'll be a try to Balmain. Hanrahan's going to score it. Well, that was a case of just everyone moving up too quickly. Gale was quick to spot it and dropped the ball over the back. And see it again on the replay, and you'll see how easy it was.
Quick thinking on the half of Scott Gale, not so quick thinking on the half of Gary Worth, the Eastern Suburbs fullback. Only 1 tackle from the play of the ball. He saw that the Eastern Suburbs fullback was flat in the line. A little chip kick initially for himself, but also reading the play just as well was Gavin Hanrahan. He saw that the kick was on Gary Worth. There he is, back here in the foreground, up in the front line of defence. Neither Hugh McGann nor Laurie Spina had read that. Nobody back in cover.
Well, a good try to Balmain, quick thinking. As he shapes up to his job now. Well, again, he's missed that, so Balmain doing it hard. 14 to 8, Balmain at the moment. And the kick will go up. Well, Mackay got a ricochet there. It's out to, it's 6 to go if they can hold it. It's gone out there to Spina, but now the referee says that the ball was knocked on.
Ruling that there was a little knock on here from Brendan Hall after the deflection, just being tapped and knocked forward on the hands by Brendan Hall. A good decision by Kevin Roberts.
Number 10 there, John Mackay, is down, receiving treatment. He'll be, looks as though he's getting some treatment to the left side of his body. Pretty tough character. He's had some injury problems during his football career, which have kept him out of a lot of games.
Well, the way Kevin Roberts has moved across to this situation with John Mackay and calling Gary Jack up. It leads me to believe the way Balmain are now settling themselves that the penalty will go against Jack and an opportunity for David Smith. Here it is here, Gary Jack, the man coming up. And no doubt that the tackle from the fullback was high.
And I wonder which of the players that he's got at his disposal he'll bring on. And that is John Mackay being removed from the field. Yes, David, you've got some news on the injury there?
Yes, John Mackay, strained groin muscle, a very bad tear apparently.
All right, well, here's the kick by Smith. In injury time, that was, so we'll just have to deduce how much time they've got at their disposal. Hardy running again, strongly. Ricochets off a tackle, gets it out there, it's gone to Slippery Morris. Gone out there to David Smith, he's sprinting for the line, goes well and is tackled on the quarter line. Gary Jack was there and Neil was there. Now it's coming out along the line, out to Gilmeister. Gilmeister on to Danny Shepherd, gets a pass away back to Gilmeister. Gilmeister weaves his way forward. Last tackle coming up, Tassel at dummy half. We'll see what happens here, play on. Out to McGann. McGann gets a cut-out pass to Brendan Hall, cut. And the referee, anticlimactic, has called pass forward.
Perfect situation here for Eastern Suburbs, a move they've relied upon a hell of a lot right throughout 1987, a switch of play down the blind, look for Spooner to switch it back for Hugh McGann.
Danny Shepherd back to Spooner. Spooner away there. Strong defence there by Hanrahan, has stolen the ball from him. And there's another penalty. Waiting on it, Gilmeister was the man that had the ball stolen from him. See it again.
Well, a great opportunity here for David Smith to learn from his last kick with the aid of this penalty against Hanrahan.
The third straight penalty for Eastern Suburbs. David Brooks still getting some attention. Moves in, and it's a goal. So David Smith raises the flags 4 times. And Balmain 14, Eastern Suburbs 12.
Paul Clark is the man that's moved off with Bevan shifting into the forwards at lock forward and shoving Wayne Pearce into the second row.
It's out to Eastern Suburbs. There's a kick downfield. They're on the chase. Gary Jack will get to it first. No, he hasn't. It's been picked up by Morris. Morris is going to be put over the sideline. And that was probably, there's the hooter. That was the last chance, and the crowd erupt. And it's been a dynamic win to the Balmain Tigers by 14 points to 12.
The Saturday match of the day had Canterbury Bankstown up against North Sydney at North Sydney Oval. Heavy rain over the weekend had meant that the game was going to be played in atrocious conditions. Canterbury Bankstown had won only 2 of their last 4 encounters and were trying desperately to get back on the rails in 1987.
The referee this afternoon is Barry Barnes. And we're going to see Canterbury defending the northern end of the ground, the North Sydney number 2 oval end, and North Sydney will be defending the Harbour Bridge or City end of the match, or the Harbour end really. There's the kick-off. Potter takes that well, and really I think any take today, Mike Stevenson, will be a good take.
Certainly will, David. Any points early in the game, that ground is very, very heavy indeed, and I think it's going to, well, cut up, especially in the middle where the cricket pitch is, so any team that can get 5 or 6 points early in the game, well, it's going to take some dragging back.
Well, look at that. It's like it really is skating on water out there. It's going to be a game of water polo this afternoon. Let's go down to the sideline, and a man who probably will get rather wet down there, Ian Hansen.
Thanks very much, David. Yes, luckily I've had all those swimming lessons over the years. I've just had a wade across the field, and it is, as you said, and the viewers can see it, it's like an absolute quagmire. And the team with the best hands and also the best kicking game will probably come out winner today in a pretty tightly fought contest.
It certainly looks, though, as we look out over the middle harbour, as if there's a bit of break in the cloud down there too. We might well be fortunate by half-time, at least at the moment there's no rain, and we might even see some clear skies later in the afternoon. But when you look down to the south and down behind the Harbour Bridge, it's certainly very black down there. Steve Mortimer with the ball, back towards the halfway line. That's Mark Bugden in a dummy half, and taking it up now is Peter Kelly, the prop forward.
He's a player that's going to play a major part here, David. The front rows, really, from North Sydney and Canterbury Bankstown, they've really got to try to take a lot of pressure off. They can't expect fancy football in these conditions.
And that's MacArthur, the North Sydney winger, and the kick at that time, Colin Whitfield. Having played with Halifax, obviously with Chris Anderson and Graham Eadie. And that Chris Anderson's influence had something to do with Whitfield coming to Australia and playing with the Canterbury club.
He's got plenty of classes, this fellow, and he'd be a little bit sort of surprised to come away where it was sunshine in England, of all places, to weather here, David.
First penalty of the afternoon goes North Sydney's way. It'll be a struggle even to find touch from there. It's just outside the quarter line. That's the quarter line there in the background. And even trying to find the touch line is not going to be easy.
And talking about not being easy, David, I think Chris Mortimer playing an initial first grade game in the pack. It's a lot different from the three quarters. It's going to be interesting to see whether he can continue with the pace.
Well, he's such a competitive player and such a good defender. I don't think that the change will hurt him too much. Now Bella taking the ball up. Martin Bella, he slipped that away. Wright didn't expect it, of course. Now Brockwell with the ball. And Brockwell's got the ball 10 metres inside Canterbury's territory.
Well, he's another three-quarter that's fitted in quite well, although not with the same success as many of the other players.
And there's Greg Florima's kick for the touchline, and he's found it 10 metres out from the Canterbury line. Over there in front of the Molly Dive stand, the members stand here at the North Sydney Oval. What a good kick that was.
Certainly was, and a lot of confidence booster for this youngster. Slipping into the 5'8" position. Not that he doesn't know much about it. He's played a lot of junior football in that position.
Canterbury coming up with the scrum winner. That's Steve Mortimer, who will play it there to Michael Potter. Of course, North Sydney, Mike, will have nightmares about Paul Langmack playing 5'8". We'll remember the first match of the season on ABC television. Oh, a bad mistake there from Pat Jarvis as he dropped that. North Sydney with the ball. So for the first time in the afternoon, we're going to see its side at least get inside the opposition's quarter area. And that's Clayton Friend who's tackled. In fact, he's lost the ball, and there's going to be a penalty. And this will be John Dora, who's chance to kick for goal. And this will be a vital kick. They've already tried a few fullbacks, though, this year, North. I think they've had Paul Conlon, John MacArthur, Steve Casey, Mark Cannon. And they've all finished up succumbing to injury. So Dorahy, see, the fifth player to play fullback this year. The chance to put the Bears in front. It's high, it's great, it's 2 points. And so North Sydney take an early lead after 5 minutes of play, leading Canterbury Bankstown by 2 points to 0. Langmack. That's Stephen Folkes.
Well, it really all is going to boil down to stamina, David, and of course North Sydney with that lead 2 points to 0. And believe you me, they're valuable in such conditions.
That's Farah. That's the incredible thing, though, Mike. In the early games today, we saw the under-23s go to North 30-22, and Canterbury won the reserves 18-8. So we did see a lot of points, even in these conditions.
Well, there's a tendency to, like with being a hard ground, as well as it being exceptionally wet.
Whitfield taken out of the play after he kicked that through, and the penalty's going to Canterbury. You can see that.
Well, there's no doubt about it. I'm not saying that all Australians hate pommies, but he certainly made his mark. Welcome to Sydney, my son.
So Whitfield, the chance to make it 2-all. There's the kick. He's got a fair bit of height and distance, and the touch judges agree. It's 2-all at North Sydney Oval. North Sydney 2, Canterbury Bankstown 2. Ball comes in and it's won by North. Now that's Friend ducking around the open side. 10 metres out from the Canterbury line. Florima, who's about the only one with a clean Guernsey out there at the moment. Must be the only one that hasn't been tackled in the mud patch. Right, blindsided, comes away. Good pass went from Graham to French, and Peter Mortimer's picked it up. Now Mortimer's got 70 metres in front of him. He's up over the halfway. The cover defence is across. Back on the inside to brother Steve, and Steve's tripped over, but he's only 32 metres away from the North line. Langmack up there to play the ball. Folkes can't keep it going as he slips over as well. And that could easily have been a Canterbury try, as Langmack's got his long pass. You won't see too many passes that long this afternoon. Whitfield's pass comes out on the wing now to Curry. Curry trying to get down the left flank. He's got within 11 metres of the North Sydney line. He'll get up and play it. About 8 metres in there from the eastern touchline. Jarvis, away it comes to Langmack. Langmack decides to hold the ball up and then doesn't deliver the pass. He's only 9 metres out. Fourth tackle against Canterbury. Blindside comes Bugden. Now that's done. That pass finished up going to no one, and Curry's going to do well to keep that ball in Canterbury possession and in play. Done in a dummy half. He'll have to do something good here to redeem himself there. Oh, that wasn't well done. Now that the speculator kick, which could finish up with anyone here. Now chasing the ball through Dora. He's got it first for Norths. Now can he get it back into the field of play? Good tackle, Peter Mortimer. Oh, John Dora, he felt that. Two of the veterans of Sydney football, and I don't think either of them would mind being tagged that. John Dorahy and Peter Mortimer. Clayton Friend in a dummy half. Comes the short side, that's Dorahy. And Dorahy's gone straight through. Dorahy up over the halfway. Can he get on the outside of Steve Mortimer? He took him well. Mortimer looking at the touch judge saying, didn't that go into touch? It certainly didn't, Stevie, and French has it at the moment for Norths. Not that the touch judge could probably see either, but certainly from this angle it didn't look as if he crossed the touchline.
Well, he didn't, David, and I can't understand how Steve Mortimer could have seen. He was just going through about 84 gallons of water at the time.
Florima kicking for touch. Well, this one find it. Potter's going across there. Potter's got it. Now Potter runs it back, ducked under the first one, but he's got it just outside the quarter line. Let's go down to the sideline, Ian Hansen.
Yeah, Steve Mortimer wasn't complaining about the touchline, I don't think, David. I have it right in front of me. He was complaining about the knee in the face.
Well, obviously, we couldn't see that from here because it looked as if that must have happened underwater too. I notice, Ian, that you've taken away the umbrella, so obviously conditions much better down there at the moment.
Yes, Dave, and praying that it stays dry.
That's Peter Mortimer. Peter Mortimer still going, back towards the halfway line. Langmack's pass comes out to Jarvis. Jarvis decides to put a kick in, and that looks to be pretty effective. It's a good kick.
Well, he looked for support. There was no one there. He's looking towards his captain, Steve Mortimer, saying, that's all I could do, skipper. And he came out well.
That's Langmack. Potter. Potter still going. Good run from Michael Potter. Potter's back on the inside to Curry. Curry to the quarter line. Curry still going. And Curry can't deliver the last pass. But he's got the movement down within 11 metres of the North Sydney line as he plays it to Langmack. It comes away from Steve Mortimer. Now it goes to brother Chris Mortimer. Now it goes to Farah. Farah's around one. He's around two. He's standing there. Can't deliver the pass though. He's almost lost it. Last tackle against Canterbury. I reckon the bomb or the grubber kick will come here from Steve Mortimer. He's almost lost it. It's picked up by Potter. It comes to Langmack. It's loose. Stacks on the mill. Langmack's got it back and the referee's going to rule the scrum for the knock-on.
Well, a wasted chance there. I thought Steve Mortimer put himself in a position far too close. He should have held back, called for the kick.
Well, there's the scrums, giving Canterbury's way 6-5 and a tight head apiece. Referee calling timeout. I think it's Bella who's down, needing some attention, probably mud in the eye again. See, I would have had plenty of money on that. There would have been the grubber kick or the bomb coming that time. Last tackle only 8 metres out, Steve-o.
Yes, but wasted chances in this day. It's 2-all.
It's Chris Mortimer gets it away to brother Steve. Down on the inside, or coming back on the inside, was Jarvis. Bugden again at dummy half. That's Kelly. He's gone without it. It's picked up by Potter. The referee says play on as Potter's got his pass away. It's gone loose. It's been towed across field really by Whitfield. Thought he was back playing soccer.
There's a fight on.
There's a blue on in the back play, but we'll stick with the football as Whitfield has the ball over on the quarter line. I notice that the touch judge is across there. The two touch judges are there as the referee's watching the football as Steve Mortimer goes the blind. It's going to be, well, he's going to hold play up.
Well, he'll have to, David. Both touch judges are doing a waltz in the middle of the field.
Yeah, a bit worse than a while, Steve. I'll give you the tip. It was the two wild bulls, Kelly and Bella, going hammer and tong, and then another North Sydney players come in. I won't say who it is at the moment because the touch judges are adjudicating with the referee Barnes. But one North Sydney players come in and let go of the wildest right you've ever seen, and decked Kelly, sat him on his behind, and then other players came in, and it was on for young and old.
Well, there you're seeing the foreground, but Kelly leads with the left. Probably give you some of a rundown on here. A lot of effort, a lot of misses.
Well, the penalty going North Sydney's way, which of course pleases the fans.
Brought a bit of warmth to the players, no doubt.
And have a look at some.
Especially Kelly and Bella.
Have a look at this tackle count at the moment. Paul Dunn's got through 21, Pat Jarvis 16 and Steve Folkes 13 for Canterbury. While for Norths, Mark Graham 15, Simon Brockwell 14 and Greg Florim at 12.
Well, in these conditions, David, you don't expect the wingman to be doing much.
Potter with the ball for Canterbury. And the penalties favouring Norths 5-3 as the siren goes in the back play for half-time. The first half, which, as we expect, dominated by the slippery conditions and, of course, the forwards. And at half-time, as we see Greg Florimer limping from the field, and the man of the match so far in the game alongside him there, Martin Bella. They're going off to hear the coach's instructions at half-time. It'll be interesting to see what the coaches say, but at half-time, much the same as it was at the start of the game. The two teams are equal. Only both of them have kicked a penalty goal each. North 2, Canterbury 2.
At half-time, as we thought in the first half, Greg Florima off with a cork. His place has gone to Olsen Filipina, the Kiwi international.
And done again was the tackler on Andrew Simons. Now right, the pass comes away from Friend. Now that's Filipina. He's away from one. Chris Mortimer was there across along with Pat Jarvis, right on the halfway line. Taking it up this time, Martin Bella. Bella through one. Look at the big man go. Good solid run from Martin Bella. Right again, open side, it comes from Friend. Now that's Filipina. Filipina's kick over the head of Curry, and the ball bouncing towards the touchline. That time there's no leg spin on it. That's a good kick.
Certainly was, David. He gave himself plenty of time and he didn't push it through too quickly. He put it into open space. Beautiful kick here. Now this puts pressure on the defence.
French takes it ahead, and the lock forward's going to be held up only 12 metres out from that Canterbury line, and that's Dorahy in a dummy half at the moment, and Dorahy sends the pass away. Now Bella's tackle, 10 metres out from the Canterbury line, done over the top in company with Jarvis, writes a dummy half. The pass comes away now from Friend. It goes to Filipina. Lovely ball. It's come out wide now. Take it up this time. Tate, the ball's gone loose. Stacks on the mill. It's still anyone's ball. Towed across the in-goal line in the end, or the touch in-goal line by Farah. And the referee's going to put a scrum down for a knock-on.
Well, that's a gamble we were talking about, David, keeping the ball alive. It's not expected. And you'll see Canterbury's defence stretched here. Steve Mortimer went in for the kill, and really that was try time. Wouldn't they love to have him out there? That's one thing that they have been lacking, is the fact that there hasn't been a great deal of support play. They really need a fella out there just to back up that half break that may just come late in the game.
Actually, Steve, who was just on the as a message boy, he gave Tony Curry a message, and this could be the turning point of the game. You never can tell.
Well, North Sydney got the ball just inside Canterbury's territory. Steve-O talking about how much Canterbury would like to have Terry Lamb out there at the moment. So far this season, the Canterbury Bankstown team have scored 88 points on their own, and Terry Lamb scored 89. So Terry Lamb's actually scored more points in this year, up to the start of today's game, than the rest of his teammates combined.
I appreciate that, David, but they can't all kick goals, can they?
No, but I'm saying he does have a telling effect when he's out there, doesn't he?
Certainly does, especially in the backup department.
That's Western Suburbs. He scored all the points that night. North Sydney with the ball. So it comes away from right at the Friend. That kick coming down towards Peter Mortimer. Oh, Mortimer's missed it. It's loose. Here's a chance for North Sydney. Coming through, Casey trying to tow it into the in-goal area. There's still desperation from all players. It's a try to North Sydney, and it's scored by MacArthur.
Well, I said earlier, David, I was surprised that neither side had utilised the old-fashioned bomb, as we call it now, but it certainly came up trumps for North Sydney. MacArthur getting a very valuable try. Now the ball was spin out wide, and here's the halfback, the Kiwi, puts the ball high. It's the first bomb of the day. It wasn't taken well. Good play by Filipina there to keep the ball alive. I was a bit critical at first of Steve Casey. I thought he should have dived on it. And there's the wingman for it. Now you'll see both North Sydney players coming in here. They both put him under a lot of pressure. I suppose he could claim that he could have been interfered. But Casey, well, he tried to kick it. Mortimer was in the way. Now then, Potter did get his hands to it.
I don't think he forced it though.
Well, it wasn't deemed to be forced, David. There's 4 points extra on the North Sydney scoreboard.
It's his second try for the year, and Johnny on the spot was John MacArthur, that's for sure.
So now Dorahy, the chance to add the extras. His second kick of the afternoon from right underneath the uprights. The chance to stretch the lead to 6 points. There's the kick. It's pretty good. It's 2 points. And the Bears are in front by 8 points to 2. North Sydney 8. Canterbury Bankstown 2. And we've had 17 minutes play of the second half. Let's go down to the sideline again. Ian Hansen.
Yes, certainly there's rain starting to come down here, David, but one former Norths player who's not phased is John Gray, who's come to the sideline too to talk to Fred Teasdale, who I wouldn't be surprised to see injected into this game at some stage in the second half.
And there he goes. Look at him go. Bella down to the quarter line, throws the dummy. He's still going. Martin Bella, what a great run from the big man. He's got the ball within 11 metres of the Canterbury line. It's towed through and to play the ball, and Canterbury have got the ball. It bounced off the legs of the North Sydney player Bella, and Canterbury, quick thinking from Paul Dunn, fell on the loose ball, and Canterbury have got the ball back. And what a game, talking of huge games, what a game Dunn's had. 38 tackles he's got through so far, and yet he was still back there as the marker on Bella that time.
Certainly was, and the kick through, maybe a little bit fortunate to get away with it, Canterbury. As you said, David, there's a guy just getting out. He must be really tired. He had a hard game on Tuesday night against the Blues.
Well, that's the incredible thing about Martin Bella, because he played in it too, and here's Peter Mortimer making a big break now for Canterbury. The ball's played, taking it up this time. Oh, Kelly's lost it. It's been picked up though by Potter, but the referee's going to play the knock-on. Well, there's Pat Jarvis limping back into position. Oh, he's had a huge game again today. You can't take anything away from any of these footballers on the field. When you think of the conditions and you think of the standard of football we've watched this afternoon, it really has been quite incredible.
Credit to all the players out there, David, as you say. It's especially credit to these 4 guys that played on Tuesday night. That really was a hotbed up there.
Oh, and it's on now. Well, you saw how that started. That started over something silly, a second tackle, and then someone coming in over the top retaliating. Folkes and French both involved that time. And have a look at them. Well, look at Steve Mortimer. Well, he didn't play that, but he got away with it. As it comes away now, Steve Mortimer, the long ball comes out from Folkes. Away it comes to Curry. Curry going down the left flank. Curry ankle tap from behind. He's still got the ball, and then he slid across the touchline. Well, he managed to get the ball after being ankle tapped inside his own half. In the end, he had the ball. Look at this again. This is incredible.
Well, it's do or die stuff here, getting the ball out to Curry. And there you see Olsen Filipina, a man who so often is criticised for not giving his full effort.
And this will be Potter who plays the ball. So it comes from Curry. Now it goes to Mortimer. Mortimer on his own. Steve Mortimer trying to get it back to the halfway line. But they need it down the other end of the field, Canterbury. So it comes now towards Langmack. Langmack kicking for touch. The ball's loose. It's on the North Sydney quarter line. Dorahy gathers it in. Dorahy runs it back across his quarter line. He's gathered there by Folkes. And he's going to play the ball only 16 metres out from his own line. Dorahy taking his time to get to his feet. He knows that time is just ticking away. Time's on North Sydney's side at the moment. They just have to play one-out football from here, and that should secure them the 2 Winfield Cup competition points. North's leading 8 points to 2. They run it away from dummy half through Brockwell, and he's going to take his time to get up and play it on the quarter line.
When that hooter goes, David, you may have thought that North Sydney had won the premiership trophy. That's how badly they needed these 2 points.
And this is a penalty. And that's against Chris Mortimer, and that is the ball game as far as I'm concerned. There's not enough time for Canterbury to get this ball back unless something miraculous happens off this kick, and this man would make about 1 mistake a season, and I'm certain it's not going to be now. He's going to kick this straight across the touchline, and there it is, and Norths get another chance to just run the ball for 6 tackles.
Well, this is the incident that took the pressure off. And there you see Chris Mortimer stamping on the man there. Not needed, and there it is.
And there it is, full time at North Sydney Oval in the gloom and the doom. It's certainly going to be a cheery night though for the North Sydney Bears. A courageous performance in very trying conditions. They've got the 2 competition points, the Winfield Cup points. and a great performance by the North Sydney Bears. Their forward pack was absolutely outstanding today, and in the second half it really did pave the way for a well-deserved 8-2 victory. The try was scored by John MacArthur, the 2 goals by John Dorahy, and just the 2 points this afternoon for Canterbury Bankstown, the penalty goal kicked by Colin Whitfield.
The Sunday State Bank big game from Brookvale Oval had Manly up against St George. The Seagulls had won their last 5, clashes in the Winfield Cup. St George, their last 3. But I think for Roy Masters and the boys from Cogra, it was their last throw of the dice of the hope of reaching the semi-finals.
The State Bank Big Game presents the Winfield Cup.
Hello and welcome to Brookvale Oval for this round 14 Winfield Cup clash between Manly Warringah and St George. When they met in the first round of the 1987 Premiership on the 1st of March at Belmore Sports Ground, they played a 4-all draw. And it's worth noting that it is, to date, the one and only draw so far this season. Currently, Manly are sitting on 19 points, St George are on 11. Both sides are coming into this match after a break last weekend because of the split round, but in their respective round 13 matches a fortnight ago, St George had a great morale-boosting win over Canterbury Bankstown, and Manly literally tore the Balmain Tigers apart with an enormous 48-14 killing here at Brookvale. The Manly coach Bob Fulton, a win today, will keep his Chargers well and truly in the top 3. For St George coach Roy Masters, well, he needs a win simply to allow the Saints to have a chance of making the top 5. Manly's team lineup today is Williams, Ronson, Shearer, O'Connor, Davis, Lyons, Hasler, Vorton, Cleal, Gibbs, Ward, Cochrane, Daly. The full team rundown for St George is Funnell, Walford, Beattie, Brian Johnston, Johns, Robinson, Kokas, Fraser, Fullerton Smith, Wynn, Young, Billy Johnston and Noak. Mick Stone is the man in charge centre field for our State Bank big game. Just about ready to get them underway here at Brookvale Oval. Manly to receive the ball. St George kicking off, running from right to left in their white uniform with a red V. Manly Warringah with the maroon body and the white stripes, and they're underway. The referee is Mr. Mick Stone. Vorton takes the kick-off. He's going to put it back downfield. That's gone slightly midfield, that one. Almost a kick to the open side. Picked up by Funnell. He elects to run. Hasler's there to get him. And they start the action just around about centre field. Chris Johns coming on the burst there, the wing 3/4. Billy Johnson, dummy half onto Craig Young. Looking for support, gets a pass away to Kokas, out there to 13. Billy Noak, who's been turned into a front row forward of late. Up to Fullerton Smith, he takes it up to the Manly Warringah quarter. Johnson moving it out now to Beattie. Beattie's gone straight and hard, been put out just inside the quarter. And there's a little grubber kick being put through. Some of these St George players are offside. Shearer's got it. But he's tackled about 5 metres out from his line. Vorton a dummy half. No action there. Shearer dummy half. He's going to try to run from there. He does, and he makes a good inroad too. That's about 15 metres.
Manly always had this myth about the fact that they were a bad wet weather side. I think they've improved upon that in the last season or so. They have an excellent kicking game through the likes of Cliff Lyons, Paul Vorton and also Mal Cochrane, and this Brookvale Oval in superb condition regardless of all the weather that we've had over the weekend.
Yes, Vorton back to Shearer. Shearer dummies, gets a kick down. It's touched in flight by a St George player, fallen on by Ron Gibbs, the Manly second rower. Under Crusher Cleal, that player was offside. Number 3, Michael Beattie, going to be penalised for it. You'll probably see that action again. He came tearing in. Watch him.
And Miles offside, as were 2 or 3 of his St George teammates. And Cliff Lyons to release all the early pressure, but a bad kick.
Yes, that came off the side of his foot. It's only made a net gain of about 7 metres. Need to do better than that. Wind conditions are minimal, David.
southeasterly breeze blowing, Rex, not favouring St George to any great degree in this first half, but as Graham mentioned, the ground in superb condition, and we saw in the earlier matches that ball handling wasn't a problem despite the wet weather leading up to this match.
Yes, the ground's a picture too. It's just a little bit soft, but there's Gibbs going for a jog. Gets through the tackle there of Colin Fraser, and another penalty. And a touch judge in this time.
Continuing on with their policy of ensuring that the man in possession always retains the advantage and trying to get up quickly to play the ball.
Graham Wynn to be called out now on a touch judge's report. Referee Stone listening to all that's being said. Graham Wynn acting a little bit like a schoolboy there, being spoken to by the teacher. Yes, sir. No, sir. It's a kick at goal for Cochrane. It's about 11 metres out from the quarter, and it's, well, virtually in the middle of the field. Be kicking into a breeze that shouldn't affect the issue too much. Now Cochrane. Moves in now. That's a goal, so Manly lead 2 points to 0. Back to the halfway comes Funnell. Funnell's been turned into a fullback by Roy Masters, and he's done a pretty good job of it. He's a big lump of a lad. He knows how to motor. And that's on the line, is out, so there's another penalty to Manly right on the halfway line. I don't know why, but I always feel that a team has got slightly rattled when they do that. There's no need for St George to be rattled at this stage. Now Lyons, let's see if he can get his act together with a line kick. That's a better one, made about 16, 18 metres from the centre of the field. That's not a bad kick at all. Now Cochrane to take the tap onto Hasler. Lyons, dummies, gives it to Ward. The Englishman comes straight onto Daly. Pops a pass to Hasler, out there to Cochrane. Cochrane, a long cut-out pass to Lyons. Lyons cuts a pass out to Davis. Davis going up the sideline, going beautifully and tackled just into touch on the inside the quarter.
Continuing his good form from the performance against Balmain a fortnight ago, Cliff Lyons, the good long ball out to Stuart Davis, who on only the second tackle certainly would have been a lot wiser to stay away from that touchline.
Yes, the sideline should be considered like a precipice. You go close to it, you go over the side. St George in possession from that scrum. Just brought it outside their quarter. And the lower grade results, well, the under-23s a very comfortable win to Manly, 24-8, but a bit of an upset in the reserve grade when the St George side won 16-6. St George were well down the ladder. Johnston back to Funnell. Funnell kicks downfield. There are a couple of chases there. Shearer's got it now inside his quarter. Kicks. Now Funnell faced with exactly the same situation, except that he's got the wind at his back and he's got a little bit extra length in the kick. Shearer's inside his quarter. And Funnell knocks on. And the crowd roar. Took that a little bit casually. There's Hasler's got the ball in his hands from... There's Lyons, busted him again. Robinson's been burst wide open. Got a pass into Hasler and Hasler scores. Look at him go. He's broken him wide open and gone in underneath the posts. Lyons is having a picnic with Robinson. I wouldn't be at all surprised to see a change made in the St George lineup there, even if it's only positional. But have a look at the try again.
On the State Bank replay, too big and too strong for the second occasion. Cliff Lyons, he's forced Steve Robinson down and beat him on the outside. Back on the inside is Des Hasler in superb touch, and the man that many people wanted to argue should have been originally in the New South Wales side, scores the first try. But again, Steve Robertson should be standing outside his opposite Cliff Lyons and trying to force him back into the cover defence of Colin Fraser in the lock forward position, but he was beaten outside. Des Hasler did the rest. He read it brilliantly back inside, and away he goes to enforce for Manly a very confident start.
Yes, a confident start indeed. One feels that you've put your finger right on the button there with this Robinson. His positional play is at fault. It's not the tackling technique, it's the positional play. And allowing Lyons to get on the outside of him like that near his defend is just not on. Got to be slightly on the outside of him and drive him back in a little bit. Well, Manly 6, St George 0, kick at goal to follow, Mal Cochran to take it now. And there it is, Manly skate along to an 8-0 lead over St George. Well, Funnell's got the ball there on the line, let's see who he kicks off to. He's gone for a lower trajectory, Crusher Cleal stops it with his leg. And gets stopped in turn by Noak. Cochran, Shearer, just skates sideways for a yard or two, waiting for the Manly players to settle down onto Daly. He starts a forward run. It's only about a net gain of a yard. He goes Hasler, Vaughton. Vaughton's got outside him again. Onto Williams. Williams goes back on the inside, gets it to Lyons. Lyons to Vaughton. Vaughton going strong and straight is run out of people to pass to there. O'Connor was in front of him, and there's another penalty. 5 minutes in the sin bin for Graham Wynn. 5 minutes in the sin bin for Graham Wynn. See the error.
Well, he was warned and cautioned on 2 occasions for not allowing the man to get to his feet. Again, he makes a meal of it, Graham Wynn, and Mick Stone very quick to react, and off to the sin bin for Graham Wynn.
I believe, David, that Michael Beattie had a blessed event.
That's right, Rex. His wife Cassie gave birth to their first child, a little boy, yesterday, and Cassie's obviously watching this game tonight in the St George District Hospital, so I'm sure that on behalf of all the St George fans and rugby league fans in general, all the very best to the Beatties with the new addition.
Indeed. Cochran moves in. The crowd tell us that it's another goal, so Manly hasten on. Manly 10, St George 0. And we've had just short of 15 minutes play. Scrum to be fed by Hasler, out to Shearer. Lyons goes to dummy half. Gets a pass to Williams. Williams has gone upfield. He's skating along on one knee there at the moment. Gets to his feet 10 metres from halfway, out to Hasler. Cleal. Cleal's going to elect to run. He's got a long cut-out pass out to Davis. Davis goes out, gets it into O'Connor. O'Connor dummying, gets it to Vaughton. Vaughton away to Lyons. Lyons out to Hasler. Hasler out there. A cut-out pass out to Ronson. Ronson back inside to Williams. Back inside to Hasler. Hasler back there to Cochran. They're losing ground. Now they've got it out to Shearer. Shearer to Davis. As a pass gone out to Cleal, and Cleal's knocked on. Well, that was a bit of razzle-dazzle football there. We've got a touch judge in at the moment.
This hit will be on Cliff Lyons after he passed the ball. Well, Wally Fullerton-Smith set himself for the shoulder charge.
Well, that was great entertaining stuff. The crowd loved every minute of it. The ball going across the field, back again and halfway across before the Crusher put it down. But really astonishing the number of people that handle the football. Shearer's going to take the penalty. And that's useful without being great. And here's Cochran onto Daly. Daly tears forward, gets a pass away, it's onto Hasler. Hasler's got a long cut-out pass to go to Michael O'Connor, steps back on the inside, gives it to Ward. Ward goes forward. Has tackled Beattie's there using the knee on him, but suspect it was only in a way of keeping him on the mark. Hasler. Lyons. Out to Shearer. Lyons manages to slow the pace of the game down periodically, which he does quite deftly to his own tempo. Onto Hasler. Hasler back to Vaughton. And there's a pass to Gibbs, and Gibbs is knocked on.
Well, I think once again Graham Wynn is the man that might find himself in trouble. We saw him earlier with a knee incident. Again, he's late on the scene, and again with the set of knees. And Michael Stone surely has to take a tough stand. The second time we've shown on replay that he's been involved. He's certainly no requirement. Gibbs had the ball covered after the knock-on, and a double set of knees in the back.
Yes, I'm afraid that would have been, had I been the referee, would have earned him 5 or 10 minutes in the sin bin for double knees in the back. Shearer's going to kick for touch here on the grandstand side of the field. That's a much better kick. That was obviously the side to kick. Cochrane going to take the tap onto Daly. And here they go again. They've been penalised for being inside the 10 yards. So I suggest that it'll probably turn into a kick at goal now.
Well, that's 3 straight penalties to Manly. Paul Vaughton first was going to take the option there to keep the pressure on St George and go for another try. He has elected to do so. And I watched Michael Stone in the last penalty. He warned Craig Young and the forwards they were creeping inside his mark.
Cochrane will go forward. Give it out to Vaughton on the blind side. He charges for it. Is tackled about 4 yards out. Shearer at dummy half. Runs from there. Runs through. Has got very close within half a metre. Cochrane. Hasler onto Gibbs. Gibbs is taken out of it by Kokas and Fraser. Cochrane. Hasler. Lyons. The grubber kick through. Should be a try. It is. It's a try. 6 to go. The referee signifies didn't need to do it. The try was scored by Williams. And Manly come up with another one. That's 14 points they've scored now. See it again.
And on the State Bank replay, the skipper, Paul Vaughton, should be wearing a big smile. It was his decision not to go for goal. When you're hot, you're hot, and Cliff Lyons has been in great form. Went for the kick. Unfortunately for Michael Beattie, you'll see that he tries to take the ball. The deflection puts all the Manly outside backs on side. They come up with the ball, and Darryl Williams, the man, picking up another try for Manly Warringah.
Yes, that's 4 tries in his last 2 games so far, or 1.5 games. He's still got half a game to go here. Here's Cochrane now to try to add the extras. 14 points to 0 they lead. And it fades away. Obviously, unless he's hooked, unless he's sliced that, there is a slight breeze from right to left. And Manly now with a convincing lead, 14 points to 0. Funnel the kick off. Right to Shearer. Shearer gets out to the quarter line. Ronson dummies from dummy half and then goes for a couple of metres. They're just taking turns at the moment onto Phil Daly. On the swivel, that's another 7 or 8 metres. He's come back to some sort of form today, Phil Daly. He needed to. He was down on form. I'm pleased to see for his sake. He puts a lot into his football. That ball went between Funnell's legs. He elects to run straight at the defence, and he's beaten one, and that's a good charge, giving the opportunity to get his players back on side. Chris Johns there. Submerged. Brian Johnston. Billy Johnston. Out to Fullerton Smith. He comes up to within 12 metres of the halfway line. Kokas. Noak running strongly. Turned into a front row forward, as I mentioned. Whether or not that'll suit him is a matter for conjecture. He's not a player that I would have thought was a very, very active player, and you've got to be fairly active all the time in the front row. It's a grafting sort of a position. There's Ron Gibbs walking back a little bit slowly there. David, do you discern anything wrong with him?
Yes, the trainers are in a bit of a panic. One went out to examine him, and I think from what I overheard, they're a bit concerned about his jaw, Rex, but he was very rubber-legged about 2 or 3 minutes ago. Let's hope that Ron Gibbs is OK for Manly's sake.
Hasler out to Ronson. Ronson swung round and swung to the ground there by Ricky Walford. Cleal. Shearer gets a towering kick downfield. It breaks to the right, goes to Chris Johns. He's tackled there by Michael O'Connor. 9 metres his own side of halfway. Kokas. Well, it looks like there is a Manly replacement coming on, and we'll get a name from David.
Peter Cullum's coming on in 22. Ron Gibbs is being replaced, going to the head bin so the doctor can examine him, Rex.
OK. Peter Cullum coming out. Here's Michael Beattie. Gets a pass back on the inside as to Wynn. Wins up the sideline and a good spirited run. Put out there by Vaughton and Ronson. Walford. Kokas. Oh dear, that pass went forward. And that one went to ground. Bit of panic in the St George camp at the moment. Funnel. Out to Robinson. Oh, Robinson's made a break right through the middle of them. Got it on to Johnston, and Johnson's gone within an ace of scoring. Manly just hung off there. Very slow to recover. Funnel tried the little kick. The ball went to a Manly player. Now it's back with St George again. Craig Young at dummy half. Tried to go through himself there, no way. Johnston, Kokas, Wynn. Upended by Ronnie Gibbs. Well, there's a quick-thinking try and a very good try. Everybody in the Manly side caught napping. Absolutely a sound asleep, no second line of defence. See it again and wonder.
He's been on the wrong side of Michael Stone on 2 occasions, but excellent thinking by Graham Wynn. He's certainly going to be on the right side of his teammates. In amazement, the markers in the Manly side look around. It's well within the law books, and Graham Wynn, after a couple of indiscretions, certainly got up and faced straight ahead and a try to St George.
So simple. And it seems to me a fairly fundamental thing to have somebody as the second line in those situations in the in-goal area. Manly bereft of ideas. There's Ron Gibbs being led from the field midst cheers. He's going to get an examination of his jaw. There is some possibility that he's got some damage to his jaw as Walford moves in. And there it is with a minute to go to half-time. St George strike back. Manly 14, St George 6.
Well, it's going to give St George plenty of hope, Rex, and what they can do now, their forwards were starting to control play a lot better. Their forwards were starting to run stronger off the ruck, realising that they've got to go forward to create any opportunities out wide. They weren't trying to force the pass so much. Manly a little bit tired there, but it does certainly give Roy Masters and the Saints a little bit hope at half-time.
OK, so there's the half-time break, and at half-time the Manly tries have come from Hasler and Williams. The goals, Cochrane, 3 from 4. That makes up their 14 points. St George's try just occurred in the last 60 seconds of play to Graham Wynn, and Ricky Walford, 1 goal from 2 attempts. So there it is at half-time, 14-6. Manly were in the lead. St George will be back with more action after this.
Every week they're at it, never daring to let up. 'Cause winning's the only thing that counts when you're playing for the Winfield Cup. It doesn't matter if you're famous or a youngster making his way. There's only one thing that matters, and that's how well you play. That's what the big game's all about. Giving it the best you can. Always being a leader, never bowing to any man. Giving it all you know, giving it your best shot, making every step a winner.
Well, Mr. Stone has got the players back on the field now. Manly running from right to left. St George going to receive the ball from the kick-off. St George with a deficit as we face it, 14 points to 6. They scored their try in the last dying stages of the first half. Good quick thinking effort by Graham Wynn, which I'm still a little bit at a loss to know how the Manly side fell for it, but there it was. And Ron Gibbs is back on the field. He's been in the head bin, he's been examined. His result is that he's got some loose teeth, but he's going to continue on. Funnell catches the kickoff and attempts to run it out. He's just got to within about 3 or 4 metres of the quarter line.
Very heavy tackling performance by St George in the first half. Manly dominating possession. Fullerton Smith, as nearly always the case, leading the way for St George on 15. But they also have to a lot of concentration in the second half to retaining possession of the ball. They can't kick on so many occasions to put any pressure on Manly. Possession, of course, just giving that around to Manly, who are playing so confidently with the ball.
Billy Johnson running from dummy half, gets it onto Noak. Noak sidesteps his way through it. A good run of about 18 metres. The last tackle coming up. They've just made it into the Manly quarter, into the Manly half. Funnell kicks downfield. The ball will go to Shearer, the fullback, and he knocks on. Well, that's a good start for St George. See that again.
And a simple error by Dale Shearer, trying to pick it up on the run instead of going down on the ball and playing it safe. And an opportunity for St George, who certainly had no smell prior to half-time, except for that last dying try in the final stages to Graham Wynn, and now an opportunity to kick off in the second half on the right leg.
Brian Johnson going straight ahead there. He'll get to his feet now. Out to Kokas on a Funnell, who's chimed into the three-quarter line. They're about 18 metres out from the Manly line. Onto Billy Johnson. Up the blind side goes Craig Young. Gets it away there to Fraser, the lock forward, who's playing it in a very crowded area there. Johns loses the ball. It's taken by Manly. Falls on it. Cochrane. Ward's going to go away with it. He's gone about 2 metres around the side of the ruck. Shearer's at dummy half. And he runs from there, just still about 11, 12 metres out from their goal line. Onto Phil Daly. That's a bit more sensible. A bit of a pirouette in the middle of that run. Cochrane. Well, Crusher Cleal did very well there to hold that. He juggled the ball in his hands. Last tackle coming up. Cochrane running from dummy half, kicks ahead, kicks into the open spaces. He's going to make it. Well, Ricky Walford did very well to go down and take that neatly. Robinson running from dummy half. Hasler picks him off with a sort of a bulldogging tackle. Craig Young. Good run up the blind side of the ruck. A little bit of an in and away there. Johnson on a Wynn. Wynn very close to being through. Got through half of Vaughton's tackle, but the other half, the other leg was caught. On to Fullerton Smith. And he's gone well. Last tackle coming. The kick across field. Be taken by Williams. It wasn't really a well-directed kick. And he's tackled just inside his own quarter.
On wet conditions, it is so difficult when the ball's put on the deck. We saw Dale Shearer have problems with that other kick from Steve Funnell knocking the ball on. I'd like to see the St George inside backs, either Robinson or Kokas, when they decide to kick, especially inside the Manly quarter, put it all on the ground.
Made an inroad of about 10 metres, played it badly. It's out to Lyons, Lyons to Shearer, Shearer with a cut-out pass out to Vaughton. Vaughton gets a long cut-out pass to Davis. Davis is up the sideline, he's going beautifully, gets over the halfway, gets a pass back into Michael O'Connor. It's a kick and chase, he'll win the race, will he? Will he? Will he? No!
It's a try.
He's awarded a try. We'll see that again from the head on the replay. And we'll see whether it was.
A great long ball on the State Bank replay by Paul Vaughton. Stuart Davis did tremendously well here to get ahead of Steve Robinson as he came across, and a great ball back inside to Mike O'Connor. As soon as he kicked, his mind must have turned back to Lang Park last Tuesday night. He was nearly winning the race for the ball. He looks across to Dale Shearer. Dale Shearer winning the race and a try. Yes. The touch judge was the man that Michael Stone looked at Here was the great pass from Paul Vorton, cutting out Michael O'Connor. Davis running onto the ball. Plenty of long passes in the first half by Manly, but not to a man in a position to charge onto it like that. O'Connor brilliant with those the chip kicks situation, and Dale Shearer showing how much pace he's got to outspeed his teammate Michael O'Connor and get there.
Yes, well, it took a video replay to convince ourselves that it was a try, but again, referee Stone has come up with a very, very good decision because that was as near a thing as you could ever hope to see. But from our point of view, it was dead set a try. 18 points to 6. Manly Warringah leads St George with a kick at goal to follow. About 11 metres in from the sideline. And about 20 metres out from the goal line. Breeze pretty minimal. Well, he's come up with one that's squirted away to the right. We can't get any idea of just what was in his mind there. But anyway, 18 points to 6. Manly lead. Taken by Shearer, the kick-off. Going to try to bring it back. He gets to the quarter. Onto Gibbs. Very strong player, gets beyond the quarter. Onto Cleal. Cleal through one tackle. Hasler. Lyons, the dummy. Got a pass away to Williams. Williams drops the ball. Johnson falls on it. Out to Kokas and Funnel. Funnel running strongly. It takes 2 men to put him down. Johnston. Away to Craig Young, who's unseated there by Gibbs. Hasler leapt there at Fraser. Get a pass inside to Wynn, and Fraser's gone straight and hard and nearly made the bust. Johnson, Kokas, Robinson. The little kick's been put down there. The ricochet went to Manly Warringah, but it's going to be a handover. It's done. Vorton's away. Showing a clean pair of heels, made a break of about 16 metres. Crusher Cleal running now. Hasler was out wide then. I thought Hasler would appear on his right shoulder as he always does. Lyons, Hasler. Long pass to Cochrane. Cochrane's through. Gets a pass to Michael O'Connor. O'Connor's gliding up the ground. Get a pass back inside to Davis. Davis going strongly. Puts to the ground about 2 metres out from the line. Manly going to play it again. Michael O'Connor away to Lyons. Lyons goes straight and hard and held up. Whee!
Certainly would have capped another strong game for Cliff Lyons. Sights the try line, but good defence right on the line by Funnel and also Chris Johns.
Johnston, Funnel, good swerve there. And all the skills this Funnel. Johnston, Kokas, Robinson. Runs into Gibbs out there with Vorton. Kokas. Billy Noak. Tackled right on the halfway line. Johnston. Fullerton Smith. Kokas. Johnston. Craig Young kicking for position and kicks very well. That's a gain of about 32 metres. Just dropping inside the touchline. St George come up with the ball. Funnel, the fullback, trying to get a pass away, couldn't do it. The tackle of Vorton. Wolford on to Wynn. Wynn on the surge. only about 4 metres out from the Manly line. Johnson, Robinson, Fullerton Smith. Craig Young going for the line. He's been tackled about a metre short. Manly defence still holding. Kokas out to Funnel, throws the dummy. Tries to get a pass away, does get the pass away. Picked up there by Johnson. Johnson loses the ball forward. Picked up by Hasler. Hasler goes away and makes a gain of about 7 or 8 yards.
And again, the simple adage that you can't win football games without the ball.
Well, Big Crusher's gone up the sideline, got it into Davis. Davis is going up towards the halfway line. He's going very well. Tackled and swung to the ground 10 metres into their half. Cochrane's at dummy half now. They've got a back line out there out to Hasler. Long cut-out pass to Lyons. Lyons to O'Connor. O'Connor out to Ronson. Ronson back on the inside to O'Connor. Then on to Lyons. Lyons going straight and hard. Gets a pass away, which is forward, and it'll all come back.
They certainly look smart when they search wide, Manly. Some great chain passing in the back line. The long ball from O'Connor out to Ronson. Takes the tackle of Walford back inside. She's there confident with the ball in the last month or so. In back play, we saw Brian Johnson and Darryl Williams having a dispute, but Lyons in outstanding form recently, just couldn't control the last pass.
The scrum won by St George. Kokas is tackled at the base of it. Ricky Walpole runs from the dummy half position. Out to Craig Young. Wynn standing wide on the blind side. Well, there's another ball for Manly. The dregs they're picking up now. Vaughton falls on that one. Gibbs. Hasler looking, searching for an opening. There's a penalty to Manly. Hasler was doing his level best to stay out of trouble there. But I think it was Fullerton Smith who was the man responsible.
Well, it was interesting that I was watching Michael Stone. Now, he didn't rule on this first attempt at high tackle by Fullerton Smith. It was then that there was an elbow thrown by Des Hasler. The ball was lost in the play of the ball, and it forced Mick Stone to act. He certainly didn't take the option to give Manly the penalty from that swinging arm from Fullerton Smith.
And the crowd is 12,041.
Change of kicker now for Michael O'Connor. Malcolm Cochrane astray with his last few attempts. A hooked one out to the left and also slicing one to the right.
18 points to 6, Manly lead. Michael O'Connor, the change of kickers. And the change works the Oracle. Manly 20, St George 6. And Michael O'Connor is back in action for Manly Warringah. Well, Ward did marvellously well to take that short kick. Very well. To Cleal. Cleal surges ahead. Crawls a bit along the ground. On to Phil Daly. Gets a pass away to Cochrane, who's swerving and weaving, trying to get ahead. We've got a couple of changes out there on the St George side, David.
Well, Roy Masters has had 3 players warming up on the touchline. The halves, Bronco de Jura and Steve Linane in 19 to 20 from the reserve grade side, and also Jeff Selby in number 22. All 3 players warming up and ready to make their impact on this game.
Well, here it is, another opportunity this time. The man going high. Well, now I've seen plenty of tackles high lately that haven't earned anybody a dismissal. Graham Wynn is the man involved. I thought again that originally Michael Stone was going to let play go on. The crowd certainly leapt to their feet, and for the 3rd or 4th time in this game, Graham Wynn finds himself having a chat to Michael Stone. And the change is made now as we see Steve Robinson, Mark Kokas leaving the field along with Colin Fraser. There's no doubt while he certainly hasn't taken the action in the sin bin as the penalty goes to Manly. But the advantage for Manly, Ringer, for mine right throughout this game has been in the halves, where Des Hasler and Cliff Lyons were far too smart for both Robinson and Kokas.
The kick by Shearer finds touch just inside the quarter. Now Cochrane takes the tap to Lyons, onto Ward. I can't recollect a mistake that Ward's made today. Onto Daly, running slightly diagonally. Cochrane, Hasler, Lyons beautifully pulled in. Onto Shearer, got hit very, very hard there, and the ball ricocheted out. Funnel tackled beautifully by Williams. Craig Young got a pass on to Wynn, and the pass was forward. Little doubt about that.
Craig Young certainly wanting to argue, a bit of frustration maybe settling in, but the pass was forward.
Well, in and out, that was Lanane to Dura. To Funnel, the fullback, who's tried to make an inroad, got a pass away there. It's going nicely as Johnson. He's 5 metres from the halfway line. Rocco Dura straightens it up, gets a pass away. Out to Billy Johnson. Out to Walford. Ricky Walford bobbing up all over the field now. Out to Craig Young. Back on the inside, the pass gone to ground. I think it's Manly's ball. No, he's going to put a scrum down. Well, the scrum goes down. It'll be a Manly fee. .15 minutes to go. 20 points to 6. Manly lead. Well, Hasler there was tackled by somebody lying on the ground, and he couldn't get himself free. Crusher Cleal on the surge, going strongly. That's a great run. He's come to life, the bearded man. That was a strong bullocking run. Out to Hasler. Lyons. Gibbs back on the inside. Can't get his arms free, still ploughing forward. Lyons. Picked up by Cleal. Cleal knocks it backwards for Lyons. Lyons to O'Connor. O'Connor to Davis. Play on. 6 to go. Back to Lyons on the inside. Get it away to Cochrane. Cochrane's trying to go back inside. He's done that. He's got inside the quarter. He's going for the line. Looks for a pass out there. It'll go to Ward. Ward can't handle it. That would have been a beauty if Ward could have come up with a try for Manly. That's the first time he's seen himself in that situation.
The try was certainly on. A big second half from Malcolm Cochrane. He threw a number of dummies. He finally looked out wide for Kevin Ward, who couldn't control the ball. He only had to offload to Dale Shearer. It was going to be a try, but for mine, right back when the movement started, the ball certainly went forward from Michael O'Connor to Stuart Davis.
Scrum going down. It goes out to the St George side. Funnels in there, making an inroad up the blind side. Now Ricky Walford. He's running very well. Gets towards the halfway line.
Leave him.
Lanane. Dura falls as he comes to the defence. Out to Craig Young. Got a pass away to Johnson. Johnson out to Selby. Selby goes in the knees as soon as he's tackled by Williams. That pass looked forward. The referee standing back couldn't see that. Gibbs down in back play at the moment. There's a high bomb being put up. And the referee says it's going to be knock on back here.
George resorting to the bomb. They haven't been able to clearly make the break, and the ball was knocked forward by a St George player.
Yes, I think there's another change coming up in the Manly in the Manly side, David.
Yes, Peter Cullum, the man that replaced Ron Gibbs in the first half, is coming on. Gibbs in a fair bit of pain back towards the halfway line.
Yes, I believe he's got a cramp in that same leg. He's walking like a man with an iron foot at the moment. Peter Cullum will come on. He's getting a hero's response here. Just listen to the crowd.
Well, he certainly deserves it. He's been one of the form forwards of the Winfield Cup right throughout the season. Great performer for Manly and becoming somewhat of a try-scoring second row as well as his feats in the defensive line.
Well, now Lyons has made a great big circular run round the back of the defence and tried to make an inroad somewhere else. He made some sort of a gain, but he didn't get through. The kick has been put down to Johns' wing. Johns will attempt to bring it back. Yes, I suspected it was a severe cramp, and I believe that's what it is, David.
Certainly is. The trainer said that he's absolutely exhausted and severe cramp, but what a mighty game he's had.
Craig Young, long pass out to Bronco Dura. Former South Sydney player, been locked in reserve grade of late. Lanane, the kick ahead. Paul Shaw, reserve grade halfback, takes it. Shearer runs up the blind side and makes it to the quarter line. Steve Davis, now Cochrane. Using Crusher Cleal again up the blind side. Shearer powers that downfield, taken by Funnell. Oi! Dropped it behind him, pulled it in one-handed. Oh, beautiful pass. He got it right to Wiki Walford. Walford's upfield. He'll make a mess of this if we're not cleaning it up pretty smartly. Onto Fafita. Fafita taken out of it. That was Cullum, the last tackler. De Jura. Long cut-out pass to Walford. They're moving it around now all over the place. Selby gets a pass on to Bronco Dura, and he's within half a metre of the line. Lanane, Craig Young, Fafita. Good defence there by Williams. Lanane. Brian Johnston stopped and started there. Johns. Little kick through by Lanane. And the penalty has gone to St George.
Arguable, the interference caused, or the leg going out from Cullum, and he was taken out of the play, Steve Lanane. But again, St George coming up with breaks from broken play, but when it comes to the business end, only metres out from the line, the defence of Manly's been excellent.
Wynn trying to search his way around the blind side there to get number 2, but Manly are awake to him this time. Manly players have got to get back to the goal line. Picked up by Shaw. A little knock on there by Lanane, concentrating on trying to give the pass before he had it in his hands. Gately. Away to Ward. Strong as a lion, this fella. Shearer. Williams. Bursting onto that ball on the right-hand side of the ruck. Cullum. Got a pass away, it's gone to ground. 6 to go. Cochrane fell on it. Lyons went straight through Shearer. Picked up by Crusher Cleal. He's broken free from that. He's got some momentum up now, I'll tell you. Beautiful pass to Michael O'Connor. Gets it away there to Ronson. Ronson comes back midfield. 20 points to 6. Lyons, Vaughton, Shaw. Shaw drops the ball forward. It's picked up by St George. That's Johns. And there's the header in the background. The Manly have come up winners by 20 points to 6. The scorers for the Manly side have been Hasler, Williams and Shearer. Cochrane 3 goals from 6 attempts. O'Connor 1 from 1. St George, they're trying to win their goal to Walford. 20 points to 6.
Let's go to all the highlights of the only other clash from last Sunday, Balmain and Parramatta.
At Leichhardt Oval, the Tigers went 1 up through Benny Elias. Balmain scored the first try after quick hands put John Davison in. Parramatta's defence was threadbare when Balmain scored another try shortly afterwards. Gavin Hanrahan made the bust. Michael Neal supported, then Russell Gartner did a juggling act before scoring. The Tigers were in again just before half-time. Wayne Pearce ran away from dummy half before finding Russell Gartner. He fell and then regathered Michael Neal's pass, which touched a Parramatta player. Although Conlon finished with 50%, he still looked out of form with his kicking. The closest Parramatta came was when Peter Sterling was held up over the line. But Parramatta was outclassed in all departments, especially out wide.
In the finalisation to that split round of Rugby League, let's just check those results for you. Norths with that upset on the weekend over Canterbury at home at North Sydney Oval. Balmain, a huge win over Parramatta after the Tigers were backing up from the National Panasonic Cup semi. Manly, another big performance and plenty of confidence in the Sea Eagles camp. Now the Winfield Cup table looks like this. Balmain still with that point over Manly. Manly likewise over East, Cronulla and Canberra, and South Sydney all looking fairly strong for a final 5 berth. Canterbury, Parramatta certainly starting to struggle, and it certainly looked like the end of the season for St George. Now next weekend, the Winfield Cup matches: Parramatta versus West, North versus Cronulla, Balmain and Canterbury, St George and South, Penrith versus Manly, Illawarra versus East, and the Raiders enjoy the bye. Well, I trust that you've again enjoyed all the action on Winfield's week of Rugby League. Until next time, I'm Graham Hughes. Goodbye for now.